All right, guys, big category here. These are a lot of like the showy main focal flowers. There's few groups and a lot within each group, I think, especially when we get to the zinnias and the sunflowers. There's a lot of those that I'm growing. So, without further ado, I grew asters for the first time last year and freaking loved them. So this year we're going to try Early Charm Aster, Powder Puff Aster, and Apricot Aster. Then we have some Agrostemma. This actually has the white and the purple included. I grew them last year for the first time and they were gorgeous. So some Agrostemma. Next up we have Cosmos. So Snow Puff Cosmos, I actually requested these on my wish list in the seed swap that I was in this year and was lucky enough to get some. So that is wonderful. They're like a double white. Then we have Double Click Bicolor Rose. We have, I think these are pronounced Zinnia. I'm not quite sure. They're quite pretty. I wouldn't call them quite this metallic looking in real life, but they are pretty nonetheless. This is Double Click Cranberries. I grew these last year. Absolutely gorgeous. I also grew some seashells last year and I loved those as well. Now we have some poppies. These are poppies that I think I'm actually going to try sowing a la the Impatient Gardener and Garden Answer in the snow this year. So these are 6-year-old seeds. It's time to use them. They're the classic like red Shirley poppy. And I'm going to sow them in my perennial garden. So hopefully they'll reseed each year and come back year after year. This is my mom's best friend. So these came from her garden. Next up we have Amazing Gray Shirley Poppy. Probably most of the poppies I won't, other than table flowers for myself, I'll be using mostly the pods because the flowers themselves don't actually last very long in the vase. But nonetheless, the pods are super interesting and I can have flowers for myself even if they only last for a day. Another Shirley Poppy is Mother of Pearl. It's got a mixture of colors, all very pretty. And we have Giant Rattle Poppy. And I think this is a breadseed poppy. And I'm mostly after the pod here because I've heard they are quite giant. I did try to seed some last year and didn't get any takes. So this will be round 2, trying to get giant poppy pods. Formosa Lily, I think I got these 2 years ago. Yep. And I've tried to grow them every year and have not had much success. So this year, I'm going to follow the directions to a T. I don't typically leave them on the heat mat. They take 3 to 4 weeks, supposedly, for germination. And I have one heat mat and it's heavily used this time of year. So I may actually go get a second heat mat and give these guys the time on it that they need. I think they prefer germinating at a constant 70 degrees. So we'll see if we can finally get a Formosa Lily this year. Next up, I have some Rubecchia. So this is Triloba that I received in a seed swap. I think Triloba is like the classic yellow that you think about when you think of Rubecchia or Brown-Eyed Susan. Then I have Sahara, which comes in gorgeous colors of yellow, brown, orange. They're quite fully double, a lot of them. They're really pretty, so gonna give those a shot. And probably my favorite are Prairie Sun. I just love the green centers, and they're so showy and cheery. These are a favorite. Now, flowering kale. I tried to grow last year for the first time. I've got a couple different kinds here. I think I just didn't have the timing right, and I'm gonna give this a better shot this year because in the fall, I think these would be gorgeous, and they're frost tolerant. So I was lucky enough to have flowers this year for Canadian Thanksgiving, which generally does not happen. But if we do get frost at a typical time this year, then something like this, I can still have fresh flowers for Canadian Thanksgiving. Now we're into zinnias. First up here, I guess I have Envy Zinnia. This is just a green zinnia. It goes with everything. When these seeds are gone, I'm going to replace it with actually the Queen Lime series green zinnia. I think it's a little larger. These ones are quite small compared to some of the other zinnias that I'm growing, but still a good, I do like this one. Speaking of Queen Lime, we have some of the Queen Lime series here. I've got Queen Lime Red, Queen Lime Orange, and Queen Lime Blush. There is a new one this year called Queen Lime Peach, I believe. It's currently back ordered on Johnny's Seeds, which is probably where I will purchase it from. And if I don't get it in time to seed this year, just a little less stretching. If I don't get it in time to seed this year, I will purchase it so I can have it for next year. I really, really like the Queen Lime series. They are one of the most consistent. They are a fully double type and some of the nicest coloring. I'm also going to grow the Oklahoma mix. These ones are a little smaller. I thought these were large last year when I planted them, but they're actually smaller than the Queen Lime, or at least these ones that I tried were. They are definitely not as large as Benary's Giant. I have Benary's Giant Wine here. If I can get my hands on a mix before the spring, I will get one of those and be growing more Benary's. I love the size of these. I may or may not grow these ones. These are Mizerkia. They're kind of, if I recall correctly, I think they're kind of burgundy with, they fade, the tips fade to like a creamy pink or white color. So they're interesting. I may give those a shot. I've grown these ones in the past. Zinnia Bonbon, the splashed zinnias are very interesting, and some of the other ones are hit or miss. So I may give these a try, I may not. I know there are packs of seeds that you can purchase that just include the striped mixes. So in the future, maybe I'll replace these with that. But for now, maybe I'll grow these. Maybe I won't. I haven't quite decided. Here we have the State Fair zinnias. I grew these last year. They were okay. They were pretty good. I don't enjoy them nearly as much as the Benary's or the Oklahoma, but these are what I have, so I'll probably grow these too. Now for sunflowers. So this is Indian Blanket. I believe this is a pollenless mix, and it is branched. I grew it last year. I didn't get any that were quite fully double like these ones are in the center, but they did have some interesting colors like pictured here. So these were pretty and unlike anything else that I have. So I probably will give these a shot this year. These are, I think these are also a branching, they're pollen-free branched, yes. I have picked up enough other sunflowers that I don't know if I'll grow these or not. I did like them, but especially this next one I like better, so I may or may not grow these, but I have them. So if I have space, I might throw those in as well. These ones I really enjoyed. These are Van Gogh. They are also pollenless, and I don't remember if they are branched or not. I don't remember, but I remember that I did enjoy them last year. Now we have some Pro Cuts. These ones I grew last year. There's only a couple seeds left in here, so I'll definitely be throwing those in just to use them up. They're your classic, what you picture as a sunflower. Pro Cut Orange was it. I do really enjoy these. So the rest of these I picked up this year. So I have Pro Cut Gold Light, and I think this one had the dark center, or no, it didn't. It was a gold sunflower with a light center, similar to the Van Gogh here. So I'm interested to give these a try. Oh, right. Okay. Sunrich Summer Province sunflowers. These are a single stem like the Pro Cuts and a hybrid like the Pro Cuts, also pollenless, but these are said, some people prefer to grow these for cut flowers over the Pro Cuts because the flower head is supposed to be more upward facing than the Pro Cuts are. A lot of the Pro Cuts, the head, you know, faces sideways or can droop because of the weight of the flower, but these ones are said to be a little more upright. So I'm curious to see if that is true, and if I like them as much as the Pro Cuts that I grew last year. I may forego Pro Cuts. And next up is Pro Cut Plum, which is kind of a different color. It's got the red streaks mixed in with the yellow petals and is quite pretty, especially for fall. So that's most of the focal annual flowers that I'm growing. Did I miss any? Please let me know. I can't, I don't know if you've noticed, but I have FOMO, so I don't want to be left not growing the hot flower this year. So if you know what that is, please let me know in the description down below, and we will see you next time.